In this video, I want to show you how to make wooden ramps for your car. In this tutorial, I'm using a miter saw, a drill with drill bit and Phillips head, some wood screws, general carpenter tools, and either 2x12s or you can get away with two 2x6s sandwiched together. For the first step, you will need to line up your car tire and see how much distance there is between where a 2x4 contacts it and the top of your bumper. This will decide the steepest slope that you could have and not contact when you drive up on the ramp. Once you have those two distances, you could calculate the length of board you would need as well as the angle. Here are some formulas you could use. This is just Pythagorean theorem, and this is just deciding the angle right here. For the first piece that will be on the ground, this will be equal to the length that you measure right here, as well as roughly 20 inches or so. So first step I'm going to do is cut out the long length. This is the length X plus around 20 inches or so, depending on the size of your vehicle. Next up, I'm going to cut out the ramp. This is length A in the equation. Next, I'm going to cut out a 6-inch wide piece that'll span the width of the ramp, so roughly 11 inches or so is fine. Next, I'm going to cut out this piece right here. This will be equal to your Y distance or your bumper all the way to the ground. You can make this in one solid piece, or what I'm doing is splitting it in two pieces. One will be a small sliver of the 2x6, and the other will be a beveled piece right here. To make the mitered cut, you will need to measure the distance from right here to right here, the blow up of that view right here. So this is the angle piece. What I did is I put the perpendicular piece, so these are 90 degrees up to here, and I made the cut on the bottom, so the angled piece will sit on the bottom. You will need to miter it by the angle that you measured earlier. So to do this, your saw should have a setting right here. These are the angles. So I'm going to offset it by the 10 degrees in my case. So I'm going to measure out from this side right here. This will be the longest edge right here since I'm coming in at an angle. So I'm going to mark the longest bit. In my case, it's around 3 3/4. This will be the bottom corner. Next, I'm going to line up the saw with that mark. Make sure you stay to the outside of the cut so you don't shorten the dimension. So in my case, that'll be roughly right here. When I cut into it, the blade will still be on the outside of it. At this point, you should have something that looks like this, depending on the geometry that you need. We have one last thing to do, which is put a support right here. With the weight concentrated right here, you need something to support it. To make the small support piece, since this is already beveled at the angle you need, all you need to do is turn this back to 0 degrees and make it cut at the correct distance away from it. I'm actually going to flip this upside down so that the long side of the cut would be on the top, since that's what I'm measuring to. So I'm just going to make it the exact same distance as the other one, 3 3/4. Here are all the cut pieces. They're just loosely laid on top of each other, but this is what it will look like when you fasten it together. So that's what I'm going to do now. If you have very wet green wood, you probably don't need to pre-drill these screws. However, if you have very dry wood or just framing wood, you'll probably want to pre-drill them. What'll happen if you get too close to an edge is it'll split right here. I'm using number 10 screws, but you can look online on the recommended pilot hole size that you could use. This step is optional, but I got some scrap pieces of wood to put here. This is just a fail-safe so your tire hits this and doesn't go over the edge. And here are the ramps put together. Now that they are done, I'm going to test them. Looks like the test is a success. Supporting the weight, nothing came loose. I didn't actually touch the stop up here. I stopped before them. For some reason, this side, just because of the differential in the front wheel drive, it was not applying power here. So it was pushing it before it was actually jumping the 2x6s over there. so I have to watch out for that. I guess what I could do is put something on the bottom to get more friction. That way it'll jump up instead of pushing it. And that is how to make wooden ramps for your car. Thanks for watching.